What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm joined by the boner sprouting
Gershwan. And oh, you already said yours.
Now you can say it.
And I'm joined by. How was you supposed to say you?
I'm joined by me.
All right.
And welcome to another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. That is what Max Bileski did. Is there any Chaos Adeptus Sororitas Space Nuns? If yes, how or do they look like the demon nuns from horror? Okay. Sorry, he had a little bit more, but it was just like riffraff. Yes, there are Chaos Sisters of Battle. They are called Chaos Sisters of Battle.
There's I forget who it is, but there's like a third party miniature creator that like has Chaos Sisters of Battle. I want to say Cromlech.
Sounds right. If not, it's because we follow them on Instagram, so just check our Instagram. And I actually bought models from them. My assassins are the women from there.
Yeah.
Which I haven't painted. I will though someday.
But yeah, chaos can indeed infect the holy sisters of battle. Even though they're supposed to be like really religious, pure of heart, not untaintable, but like really like attuned to like the emperor, and they have like, what are they called? Holy abilities? Or like, I don't know, they got like some kind of holy power in them. But yeah, they can fall to chaos. There's been a whole lot of like short stories that I've read of Sisters of Battle, like falling to Slanesh, giving into their temptations and whatnot. So yeah, they are corruptible.
And their founding is actually based in corruption because they were founded by Goj Vandire, who was actually somebody who just took advantage of the position of the ecclesiarchy and being a High Lord, and then he basically just made them like his own personal security guard and did unspeakable things to them.
Unspeakable.
Eventually, though, the main Sister of Battle killed him. Shot him in the head twice. Next question.
Teddy Bear Republic. What is the largest physical being in the known 40K universe? Your mom. No.
I think there was a planet.
That was living? A living planet?
Yeah, living planet. Because it was a demon. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes, I know what you're gonna say.
It was a man-child that was in the fetal position. That was a demon world. Mm-hmm. So that's probably the biggest. Yeah.
And then somebody commented. They said the void whales, like the ships that the Tyranids use, they're pretty big, but they're not like planet-sized.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. There's also space krakens.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we have a 40 facts on all of those. Mm-hmm. Next question comes from Visor3410. What would happen if Vulcan would kill Lucius the Eternal and take pleasure in doing so? As always, great job and greetings from Poland. I was in Poland. Where were you? I
mean, he'd become Lucius. I mean, even though he's a perpetual, he can still be infected.
Still get sick.
Yeah.
Catch the common cold.
Measles.
Yeah.
Aelin and Drone. Are there zombies in 40K?
Yes. They're called
Plague Zombies.
Plague Zombies, Poxwalkers.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different names for them.
But yeah, they're zombies in 40K.
Yeah. We have a 40 facts on that.
Mm-hmm.
The Fool 06. Both good guys and bad guys can draw power from the warp. So does that mean that the warp is neutral in nature? Or does the warp truly be a force of evil since most of its realms are inhabited? So most of its realms and inhabitants are chaos. Yeah, the warp is naturally just
chaotic.
Now. But it's not.
Right.
Because back during the War in Heaven, the warp itself, it could be accessed by the old ones. When the old ones started seeing that it started getting a little like confusing, that's when they built the webways to make sense of the mind bending and space bending abilities of the warp, but the warp wasn't evil. And it wasn't until the chaos gods started manifesting that chaos, or that the warp became evil in the sense of like they would hurt you, the demons would hurt you. But you still have areas in the warp called, what are they called? Well, basically, there are areas in the warp that are not in control of any of the Chaos Gods, or none of the Chaos Gods have control of these areas in the warp.
It's just like undivided warp, like free real estate.
Yeah, basically, and then you could exist there and not have to worry about being killed.
Well, I mean, you still got to worry about dying because there's Furies, vampires,
yeah. Yeah, but like it's more like the wilderness. Like if you go to the wilderness, you should be wary of like bears and mosquitoes and rats.
Not mice.
Patagonian cavies. Those are the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh, another thing. So because the warp is a manifestation of emotions of just sentient beings, I feel that sentient beings usually tend to go towards negative emotions first, and then second gets developed the positive emotions. So like prehistoric man had to do evil things first, or was more prone to do evil things first before they started building their little communities. So like even when you look at the microorganisms, they had to first consume each other in order to
survive.
Yeah, to survive, and then they started building communities. But first, the communities were built either to kill more or to not be killed. So first came the evil and then the good. So I feel that the Emperor is the manifestation of the good that's coming in the warp later on. The Emperor is the army of the light. I hope that makes sense.
If not, then just replay that little section, but double the speed and put on some like Shakira. Then you'll get it.
Yep.
Because her hips don't lie.
No, never. Next one.
Unmitigated randomness. If I don't put question in front of my question, will you get to it second?
Yes, but usually we don't get past. We don't ever answer the questions first. Next question comes from Joe Catterman. What happened eventually to the Soul Drinkers chapter? So the Soul Drinkers chapter master grew friggin' arachnid tentacles and jumped into the warp, and now they are they're a warband of some sort.
Yeah.
Yep.
Martian Santa. What two 40k species combined into a single hybrid creature would make the best fighter?
Tyranids, orcs.
Yeah, I think so. That or orcs and necrons. Simply because you need the orc aspect in there to make them brutal, love fighting. But with the Tyranid stuff, I feel like that gives them more of an animalistic edge. But with necrons, they'll have like the ability to self-repair, and combining that with an orc, they'll just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because the more they fight, they'll get injured, they'll self-repair, and then just keep being like a huge mass of like fungal machine.
That'd be badass.
You're badass.
Next question comes from Tyler Castillo. Question. The fans need to know. Is the God Emperor an ass man or a titty man? He's definitely an ass man.
We've said it once, we'll say it again.
Next question.
Dale Rose. As we know, Ferrus Manus had the will to shape Necron living metal, and after death, his hands kept the shape instead of returning to raw materials. So, is it possible that Ferrus' will, or his soul, is still embodied in the living metal, kind of like a Necron, and that he would return if his hands were exposed to enough raw living metal?
No, Necrons don't have souls. So saying that a soul is trapped in a Necron body...
Well, it's Ferrus Manus' soul.
Yeah, but like the Necron...
Like his hands won't contain his soul, is
right.
What you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because it'd be kind of weird if like that happened. Because it's like, oh, here's his hand. Let's stick him on this like pile of meat that like forms into him. But yeah, I mean that's a cool idea, a cool theory, but he's dead. He's beheaded.
Next question comes from Marcel Goussard. Would you want a mech anime between Crisis Suits, Imperial Knights, and Wraith Knights? You like animes. You like in Crisis Suits. Would you like an anime of that?
I don't feel like it suits the aesthetic of 40K, but it'd be pretty cool to see. Maybe like a one-off movie or something. Iron Stark. Will Gaskell ever manage to win a full victory over Yarick? So far, he's come close in both battles of Armageddon. However, he's never won a major campaign. Do you think this will end up lessening Gaskell's threat if Yarick can always stop his major campaigns?
Hold up. Check the lore, because Thraka has bested Yarick on pretty much every single occasion. The hive city that Yarick was defending was destroyed by the orcs. Armageddon was reduced to nothing. Yarick was captured because he was bested in his navy maneuvering. And then Thraka was so, like, pleased, or he had so much enjoyment in just, like, messing with Yarick that he released him and said, go, run along, I want to catch you later. So I would say Thraka always gets the best of Yarick.
Easily, yeah.
Next question comes from the Knocking Star. Did the Emperor cause the Age of Strife to take over Terra, and did he create the Men of Iron? No and no. The Age of Strife was created because of the birth of Slaanesh and the Men of Iron, and the Men of Iron were created because that's just naturally what humans did. They created AI, and AI just kept getting smarter and smarter, and then got corrupted. Last question, what you got? I have one for you.
Oh.
Because you used to be a Grey Knight player. D406. If Kaldor Drago had an origin story, what would it be?
The most OP origin story ever. So much so that he actually has one. He was the only surviving member of his squad, and he alone took down the demon that killed his predecessor. So think of like a noob going up to like a level 100 like monster and just finishing it off. Like that's how OP this guy was.
Yeah.
So now that he's like advanced through all these chaotic battles, he's lived in the warp, you can just see how much of a badass he is.
True.
Word. But yeah, Drago is just insanely overpowered. Like I could literally see all the feats that Drago has been doing. Like that could be given to the Emperor and it'd be a credible story. But for somebody like Drago to have all these feats of like that are like literally legends, that's just insane. Like what makes him so powerful? Is it that those that they're actually have the gene seed of the Emperor, and maybe he like picked up the heroics of the Emperor in the gene seed or something? I don't know, but yeah, this guy is insanely overpowered. So much so that it's like pretty funny the things he's done and what he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those were the questions for today.
As always, if you guys have more questions for us, let us know down in the comments below. Make sure to hit up that thumbs up button on the question you want us to get to, and keep on commenting.
Skirsh one.
Sound Alchemist, and we are out.